How's it going?
How are you?
Good, very, very good. I moved from one Kerins O'Rahillys man to another. I didn't want to focus too much with David on the game because it's, with players, don't want to get into it too much, but it must be an exciting enough time and something that's unexpected around Strandhill at the moment.
Yeah, Strand Road is looking well. It's full of blue and white flags, and all the youngsters are absolutely delighted that we're going this far into the year, and we've had a very, very good year, I suppose, in one respect. I think the management of the team deserve great credit. I know they kind of put all their eggs in one basket with the club championship this year in Kerry, and kind of maybe sacrificed the county championship a small bit in a competition we didn't win any game in. And a lot of people are looking at that saying, how is that, But the two competitions in Kerry, the club and the county championship, are fiercely contested, and our panel is kind of tight. We've a lot of younger fellas at the end of the panel that haven't a lot of experience. So I suppose the guys that are in charge of the team had to prioritise, and did a great job of it. They went hell for leather for the club championship. They were in a very, very tough group and had a massive semi-final and went to extra time against Spa. And after that, I think the lads needed a massive break, but they had to face East Kerry in the county championship 2 weeks later. So in Kerry, you have to prioritise sometimes, and they did a great job of it. And we're really looking forward to Saturday night. Now, it's been a long time coming around again since 2009, but we're really looking forward to it.
Just talk to me a bit about even about 2009. You were playing back then still, so you would have played with David and Tommy and these lads. You would have been maybe a bit older at that time and probably realised that these things don't come around all the time, as I was saying to David there. But it's great to be back. It's great to be back at this stage again. No matter how it comes, it doesn't say, the history books won't say that you didn't win the county championship or whatever. So it's a big opportunity for you at the weekend.
Yeah, it is. It's massive. I suppose I played 20 years senior football with Kerins O'Rahillys, and we won one county championship in 2002 when I was only 19, 20 years of age, and it never came around again that we won one. And you think when you win one at such a young age, you think that you're going to be successful. I was captain in 2008, and we were beaten by a last-minute penalty after a replay by Mid Kerry, which was heartbreaking. But we won 3 club championships in a row. We won 8, 9, and 10, and that time we went on to represent Kerry. We had some fantastic wins in Munster. We played Clonakilty and we played Moyle Rovers, and we had massive battles with them. And I suppose we were raging hot favourites in a way, going up to Limerick to play against Kilmurray Bricken, and things had gone very well for us, But on the day, I suppose Tommy was a huge loss to us. He was Young Player of the Year in Ireland at the time. He was after winning an All-Ireland medal, and he was on a plane out to Australia to start his professional career. And, David was just after coming back from Australia after maybe having a trial out there as well. And Tommy was a huge blow to us. I don't know if it affected, the team preparation or anything like that, but, in a way, mentally, maybe, I suppose if we had Tommy, it would have been an absolutely huge boost to us. But yeah, the game went right down to the wire. I scored a goal towards the end, a fisted goal, and both umpires gave the goal, but the referee went in and he asked him, "Are you sure that wasn't in the square?" for some bizarre reason. And the referee ended up disallowing the goal. We were arguing with the referee. He left the free be taken quickly, and Kilmurray Brick went down and got the winning score. And it was heartbreaking after losing the county final the year before, and after losing that, we were heartbroken. Never came around for us again. So I hope the lads on Saturday night embrace the chance that they have. They're a fantastic team. They've been very unlucky over the last number of years in different competitions, but they've always held their heads high around the club and have been great ambassadors for our club. Every game they've played in, they give it 100%. So I'd be expecting nothing less for them on Saturday night, and I hope they do it. It'd be fantastic for our club.
I just saw on your WhatsApp, it said "Up the Narries." What's the Narries?
Yeah, the Narries is that's the nickname of our club, I suppose, and it was used, I suppose, as a derogatory term, but we've embraced it over the last number of years, and I think that's upset a lot of people that we actually like being called the Narries now. So our main club field would have been built on where the old town dump would have been years ago. It's a fantastic field. There's great drainage there, and I suppose that's going back for how well the pitch was looked after for years. So a nary picker is someone who picks rubbish from the dump. So you're learning something new now today. So a nary picker was someone who went to the dump and picked through the rubbish. So that was shortened down to the naries. And we're proud naries now. It used to be kind of a derogatory term that other teams around Tralee like to call us naries, but we're very proud of it. And up the naries will be shouted on Saturday night.
It's gas because the GA is gas like that, and something that would be seen as nearly, as you said, derogatory at one stage. If you just kind of nearly embrace it, nearly people.
I think it actually annoys people that it probably annoys people that we love it. All the kids are, and even here in school, I'm at school at the moment. I'm on lunch break there, but all the kids in school would say, "Oh, the Naries are playing the weekend," and I say, "Yeah, come on, the Naries." Or when I meet the lads in the yard or on the corridor, I say, "Up the Naries now for the weekend," and that's just the way it's gone.
Yeah, geez, isn't it some opportunity for either the O'Rahillys or Newcastle West at the weekend? I think Crokes, or I think Kilmacrud Crokes actually away in the All Ireland semi final. But like, that's a distance away now. Like, I think Kerry and Limerick have never played in a Munster club football final before. There's only been 2 Limerick teams that have won Munster club titles. That's Thomond, which was a college, obviously, and Drumcollar won in 2008. And obviously yourselves, you don't have a Munster title, so I'm sure lads like David and Tommy and these experienced lads will realise, and even the experience of holding on the last day against Éire Óg, that like this might never come around for them again. And I suppose that's why the likes of Jack and Cormac and Gavin are flying back and want to try and make most of this opportunity.
That's it. Like I said, it doesn't come around that often, and the profile of our team is kind of very young. There's we have a good cohort of senior guys, and then we have a very young cohort coming through, but they're not really, maybe a lot of them aren't ready for senior football yet. So I suppose you have to really grab the chance when you get it, like the lads like Tommy, David, our captain, Ross O'Callaghan, like Shane Brosnan, I could name a couple of more. They've been fantastic servants for this club. I play with them myself, and they're playing, 10, 15 years with the club, and they're just Barry John Keane, they've been absolute fantastic servants for the club. But, Newcastle West, we're looking at this as a massive opportunity for them as well. It's very hard to pick out, who's actually the favourite. I suppose maybe we'll be made favourites because we're from Kerry, traditionally a better footballing county than Limerick. And I that's just the way it probably be looked at in the media maybe. But, they had a massive win against Clonmel. I suppose Clonmel were built up after beating Nemo. No one gave them a chance to beat Nemo, and then they did the job on Nemo, and then Newcastle West did the job on them. So it's just going to depend on what it's going to be like Saturday night. This could be played in freezing cold conditions. You don't know what way the lads are going to be after coming back. As a club, we made the decision that these guys will come home as much as we need them, because when you get to a club final, it mightn't happen next year. I mean, look what happened to Austin Stacks this year. Like, they won the county final, beat us in the county final last year, and got relegated this year. I mean, who could have foretold that? So when you're in a championship final, you have to come home. You have to have your best team going out every day. It went down to the wire against Temple. No, it went down to the last kick of the game nearly. We got through a very tight game against Éire Óg from Ennis, and that went down to the last kick of the game as well nearly. So this time of year, it's going to be very tight. You need every single fella. Gavin's coming from New York. The 2 boys are coming from Dubai. Cormac's teaching over in Dubai. He's my next door neighbour at home, and I know his mother is delighted he's coming home for all the games, because I know she misses him dearly. But she's delighted we're still in the competition. But it's fantastic commitment. I suppose these guys have to look for time off work in their jobs, and Gavin's only gone to New York the last couple of weeks, so the over and back and putting the body through that and everything. But look, this might never come around for those guys again, so they have to grab the chance when they get it, and I'm sure they will. I'm sure they'll put the best foot forward on Saturday night.
Without a doubt, yeah. Can I just ask you about your involvement with the Kerry ladies, Declan? You did a fantastic year this year, all the way to the All Ireland final. How do you reflect back on the year? You probably shattered a few glass ceilings along the way. Obviously disappointing in the final, but a big achievement to get there. And that's not saying it's any type of moral victory or anything like that. Yeah. But it would have been seen as left field if you were to predict that Kerry would make it all the way to the All Ireland final this year. Yeah,
definitely. And I suppose, look, we were hopeful to come out of Division 2. That was the big thing, and we had a cracking game in Croke Park against Armagh in the final of Division 2, and we got out of there, and we're going to play in Division 1 this year, which is going to be a massive help to our girls. I suppose reflecting back on the year, the final was disappointing. The scoreline in the end was very disappointing, really, for us. But we played fabulous football this year. We played absolutely beautiful football in all our games. You know, we played lovely attacking style football. We put up big scores. I think the girls really enjoyed the year of football. It was heartbreaking at the end, but you know, like it's going to stand to us in the long run. It was a massive experience for those girls. I suppose as a manager myself, running out to Croke Park, and myself and Dara running out to Croke Park as managers, like the noise that hit us coming out to Croke Park, it was just like, whoa, how are we going to do the warm up here? How are we going to actually be heard? So it was really, everything was new for us, you know, and I experienced that as a player with Kerry, but you know, as a manager, it's a different perspective. Like, how are you going to get your voice across, and you know, how are we going to be heard here today? You know, but you know, Meath had that experience over us, and they played brilliantly on the day too, and you couldn't fault them. But look, we were recognised with 5 All-Stars there two weekends ago. That was a huge achievement by our girls. I think it's the first time Kerry have got that many since 1993. And you know, it's just a testament to the girls and how the kind of football we played this year. And we're really looking forward to Division 1 starting in January, and getting right good games up and down the country. It's gone back to a 7-8 team Division 1, so you'll have 7 games, which is going to be a fantastic experience for us. And really looking forward to the new year. And you know, it'd be lovely to go one step further, but you know, there's massive teams out there. Dublin are going to come again. You know that Meath are never going to go away, and you know, like Cork, Galway, Mayo, they're all going to be strong. The thing about ladies football, there's no bad team in it. You know, like you know, we did humdinger of a game against Armagh in the quarter final this year above an Offaly, and you know, that could have gone either way. And they're they're a Division 2 team like we were, and they would be as good as any team in the country as well. So. In ladies football, it's really tight. It's high competitive stuff, and you got to be ready every day when you go out.
Is there a sense of even more of an opportunity for next year? Obviously, Meath not writing Meath off, far from it, but they have obviously lost. They've obviously lost a couple of key players, and there's a whole new backroom team coming in there. Like I'd imagine, there's a lot of teams just ready. Dubs included. I know Shane Ronan and Cork is probably thinking the same, and there's probably a lot of there's a lot of teams just ready to step up there, and it's as open as it's ever been, I'd say, going into 2023.
Yeah, it is. And I suppose, look, Meath have lost a few players, and you know, I suppose we're unsure whether they're going to come back and play or not, or what way their situation with their contracts are. So I suppose we won't know that till later on in the year. Are they going to have these girls back, or are they gone permanently, or what way it's going to happen? You know, I suppose look at Mayo. They surprised an awful lot of people last year, beating Cork in the quarter final and playing brilliant football, and you know, put it up to us for a long time in the semi-final. So any team, like I said, or any day you go out, you have to be prepared, and if you're not prepared, you'll be turned over fairly easily. So there's no guarantee we're going to get back to an All-Ireland final this year. It's not going to be as easy as that. There's no guarantee. I couldn't tell you right now who'll win the All-Ireland ladies next year, and you couldn't even bring it down to 2. You know,
you'd be a brave man. You'd be a brave man, because it's very, very difficult to predict or how things. There's so many variables before you even start.
Yeah. So look, it's brilliant. That's and it's very interesting. You know, that's the thing about it. It's fiercely competitive, and it's fiercely interesting as well. And I suppose, look, the men's thing had gone very stale for a while, and you're predicting maybe Dublin, Mayo, Kerry nearly all the time. You know, and then Tyrone came up with All-Ireland out of nowhere. Now Galway seem to be back, and you know, other teams are starting to build again. So the men's side of it is getting really interesting again. But, you know, of the 12 teams in the senior ladies competition, it's very, very hard every year to pick a winner out of it.
Yeah, without a doubt, yeah. Can I just ask you, you know, you brought up the All-Stars there. There was a bit of controversy about certain players being excluded. Like, I don't know, I don't think it's too far for me to say that, like, Vicky Wall would have been one of the players that you would have focused most on, would say, or, you know, a lot of attention on. Do you think someone like her was particularly hard done by? And that's not to say who should be in and who should be out, but there was a good bit of controversy around the selection.
There was. I saw a bit of it on social media. All right. I don't know who. I don't even know who picks these things, to be honest. Was Vicky hard done by? I suppose if you're looking at Meath's main players over the year, she was probably one of them. You know, I know she got put off in 3 games. Did that come against her? Maybe 3 yellow cards in 3 games. I don't know. I don't know how they actually look at it really. Was it because she went to Australia? You know, was that a factor that they said, look, she's gone now, we're not giving her an All-Star? You know, I don't really know. Was she hard done by? I think she probably was, yeah. But look, we'd have 1 or 2 girls that we felt were fairly hard done by too. But you know, you can't get them all in the team. You know, we had an inspirational captain this year in Anna Galvin, you know, who led that team all year long, who was brilliant in our league final and brilliant for us all year. And you know, I thought Anna was fairly hard done by, but you know, you can't get everyone, and you can't. It's like the men's selection. Kerry were very disappointed, maybe not getting Tom Sullivan into the team, you know. And you know, that's just the way it goes. And look, they're individual awards. In the end of the day, I'm sure, you know, all our girls would have gladly handed over their All-Star if they were handed back an All-Ireland medal. You know, that's the kind of way. But look, they're the selection committees are there for a reason. They have to make their choices, and they did that. We were very happy, and you know, we were delighted with our 5, and that's all we can focus on really is ourselves. And at the end of the day, like I said, you know, that's just an individual award, and you know, we'll drive on and maybe try and get 6 or 7 extra.
As you say, it would be good to know who actually selects these things, though, because it seems to be quite secretive. But that's another topic completely.
I'm sure there's some people out there that do know, but I don't get into that kind of side of it, you know.
Can I just ask you, there's obviously 2 Kerry teams involved in the intermediate and in the junior at the weekend. And just look at the junior briefly. It's Fossa coming up against Kilmurray from Cork. I'd imagine as an inside forward in your day with a lovely left peg, you must take a great joy watching David Clifford.
Oh, he's phenomenal. I just love watching him kick the ball. I think he's one of the best strikers of a ball I've ever seen, you know, and just he's an animal of a corner forward. I think the 2 best strikers of a ball I've ever seen, and this is being quite honest about it. And I think number 1 is our fullback, Kaylee Cronin. If you've seen her playing and kicking the ball, and I see her regularly, obviously at training, she's a sweet left leg, and it just seems to be a left-legged thing. I think maybe the left-leggers are maybe a little bit more naturally talented, are we?
Unlike most left-footers, David actually has a right foot as well.
Oh yeah. Don't go there now. Got enough slagging it out over my career not having a right foot, but anyway, but yeah, he's phenomenal. The thing about David is, look, you can put the ball into him anyway. I've seen it in the county final. One went in along the ground. Picked it up, rolled 2 or 3 times like an army roll, turned around, put the ball over the bar. Next one went in, went over his head. Jeez, he went up into the sky and caught it, came down, put it over the bar. You know, he's multi-talented. You can put the ball into him anyway. He must be a dream to be kicking the ball into, you know. And he's not afraid in the hard work. The amount of hard runs he makes in games, like he doesn't just stand in the corner forward position. He comes out looking, he's over and back looking for ball. He's phenomenal, and look, we're so proud of him and so happy to have him as a Kerry footballer. And you know, I wouldn't be like to be the Kilmurray fellas facing him at the weekend. He's an animal. He's a hard man to stop. But look, if you're going to beat Foster, you know they know they're going to have to stop him and Paddy. You know.
Just on David as well. Have you ever seen a player deal with hype as well as he has? Like, there's been a lot of players hyped down through the years. I'm probably talking in hurling, maybe someone like Joe Canning, who dealt with it very well. But David just came in seamlessly, you know, 18-year-old in, first year an All-Star. Remember the day up in Clonus against Monaghan when you were really struggling, and he pulls it out of fire, and he's just been able to, it's not even keep it consistent. It's getting higher, it seems, the whole time, gradually higher and higher. He's unbelievable.
And look, a lot of people might have seen some of the scores he kicked in the county championship this year. I mean, they were phenomenal. Like, there were some of the scores in all the rounds, not just the final. They were just phenomenal acts of accuracy. They were unbelievable. Like, you know, and I remember he was Kerry captain a few years ago, and he took that all in his stride. People were wondering, you know, is he too young? Is it, I remember making the point. I think it was on Radio Kerry one evening, and I just made the point. This guy, it's going to be water off the duck's back. Like, for him, there's so much expectation on him since he was very young, since he was playing with the SEM in the Hogan Cup and playing Kerry Minor and all that. So he's very used to it. He's a very ordinary, down-to-earth guy. We were doing the crossover camp there that Kieran Donaghy runs there last Easter. We were coaching at that, and David was there a couple of days, and all the time he spent with the kids and showing them how to kick the ball and being an ordinary coach at it and taking photos and autographs, and he's just phenomenal. I'd say the amount of autographs that lad has signed in the last couple of years have been just phenomenal. And anytime I see him with the kids, and you know, it's just, yeah, no problem. Anything you ask him to do, it seems to be very little problem, you know, and that's a hard thing to do all the time. You know, it's hard when you get beat, you have to stand there in the field and sign autographs. It's a hard thing when you're winning, you're surrounded by kids. You want maybe to go over and celebrate with your teammates, and you're surrounded by kids everywhere, and you have to sign autographs to them. You don't want to look ignorant or big-headed. I don't think anyone could say anything bad about him, you know, other than that he's been a phenomenal ambassador for Gaelic football and for our county as well.
Just the last one, because I'm going to just get a verdict on Saturday's game, because I think I can hear a bell in the background. It's telling you to go to a class. try and take the heart out of it a small bit, and we go with the head. How do you think Saturday night will go against Newcastle West?
I think like I said, you know, they shocked everyone by beating Clonmel, so that's going to give them a massive boost. Can they reproduce that again? Like we see, like with Clonmel, I think it's very hard to do it. Maybe this time of year, twice in a row. I think our lads were a bit rusty the last day against Aerogue. 5 weeks without a game, lads missing and stuff like that away. And obviously, like we've covered it, working and things like that. But I think we'll be good enough on the day. I think our lads realise that this is a massive opportunity for them to, you know, add a huge medal to their collection, and it might be the last time that some of these guys maybe tag out for our club as well. So I think they'll give it everything, and I think heart and head are going with Kerins O'Rahillys on the night, and I just hope we're celebrating Saturday night, and just wish both teams well, and just hopefully the blue and white will come through in the end.
I was sure you were going to finish with up the Narries.
We'll leave that till Saturday night, hopefully.
Thanks a million for joining us,
Declan.
Really appreciate it. Good man.
Thank you.
Thanks a million.
No bother.
Bye-bye.